Hi, Leah with My Sewing Room. Today we are working through my Bernina Sewing Machine Mastery Workbook. Today I'm focusing on page 6, using your pre-programmed user settings. Your Bernina sewing machines have many functions that you can customize to suit how you prefer to sew. Most of these settings are found under the gears icon to the right of your screen. When you select the gears icon to the right of your screen, it will open up the user setting menu. To navigate through this menu, the top row of icons will show you where you are and how you got there. Think of it as file folders similar to on your computer. To do your basic machine setup and customization, you can go to the third icon on the first row, which looks like a little person. Pretend that's you sitting at your sewing machine. When you select in there, you can choose what color you want the background of your screen to be, and what pattern you would like. I quite like that one. You're also able to type yourself a welcome message. It has a full keyboard, upper and lowercase, and exclamation points. This welcome message will show up when you turn your machine on at the beginning of your sewing day. To navigate back out of this screen into the user menu, you can follow what Bernina calls the breadcrumbs. Right now we're in our little person, and to go back to our main user settings screen, you can just click on the gear icon to move backwards. The X on the right-hand side of the screen will let you completely exit the user setting menu. To activate or deactivate your tie-off stitches at the beginning of sewing, you're going to enter your user setting program, the gears on the right-hand side of your screen, and enter your sewing setting options when you're in sewing mode. To disable your tie-off function at the beginning of your sewing, toggle the tie-off function to the left. You'll have a red circle indicating that the function is turned off. In this screen, you have many other options. That top one is a tension symbol. You can do an overall tension adjustment for your machine. I would not recommend doing this without the advice of your technician, which might be me. The bottom option in here is the ability to program something other than the needle stop up down on the back of your foot pedal. If you choose the heart setting, you can choose a favorite other setting, which may include anything that is highlighted in white to the right of the screen. You can turn a knotting function on in both a square knot and 4 small stitches in a row, or 5 or 6, or down to 3 or 2, depending what you're sewing. You're also able to turn your thread cutter on and have your thread automatically cut when you use the back kick on your foot pedal. You're also able to program it to automatically raise your foot. As much as all these features sound like a great option on your foot pedal, it's very difficult to sew and not readjust your foot while sewing and accidentally cause these things to happen. So, as much as that heart function is awesome, I prefer having my machine set to just do needle up, down. To navigate back out of your foot control function screen, you can just press the back arrow back into your sewing settings using those breadcrumbs. You're also able to change the overall maximum speed of your machine using that RPM setting. Personally, I like being able to go 1,000 stitches a minute. I would leave it all the way up, as you also have your speed slider on the front of your machine, all the way slow at the left end to all the way fast at the right. When you're just learning, that all the way slow setting is a really nice place to hang out. We can navigate backwards again, back into our sewing settings. Our final option on this screen is a very funny little symbol, but it indicates what happens when you press the other buttons on the outside of your machine. When you click into there, you have options for what will happen when you use your presser foot up-down switch, located here, as well as your scissor function, located here, your quick reverse button, located here, your pattern end function, located here, your needle stop function, located on your main screen when you're in sewing mode, and your knot function, located here. In your presser foot settings, you can determine how high you would like your presser foot to lift when you're using hover mode. 2 millimeters is roughly the right height to slide 2 pieces of quilting cotton underneath your presser foot. We can navigate backwards to change other settings. In your scissor function, you can program your scissor button to first lock your stitch in a cross-shaped knot, great for garment sewing and crafty sewing, or in several small stitches in a row. You can change the number of stitches based on your preferences from 2 all the way to 6, with the default being 4. This is great for quilting. If your knot function is not highlighted, your scissor function will not knot when you press that button. Navigate back again into our settings screen and look at programming our quick reverse button. Your Bernina machine has 2 functions. You can either do a quick reverse, which will continue your pattern from where you are and can go backwards, or there's a backstepping function, which will remember specific needle holes that it just came out of. This is a great option if you need to secure a decorative stitch. Navigate back again and change more settings. Your pattern end function can also be programmed. Your pattern end is a function that allows you to sew the end of a base unit of repeats to the very end without having to count stitches. If this is a decorative stitch that you would like to secure, you can also turn on the knotting function in either that 4-point cross or multiple small stitches from 2 to 6 stitches. You can also program your pattern end function to use the thread cutter and lift the presser foot when you're done. To navigate back, press backwards on your breadcrumbs again. In your needle stop down settings, you can have, when your needle is stopping in the down position, your presser foot programmed to stop all the way hard down and holding your fabric firmly with your first option. If you like to use your freehand system or your Bernina knee lift, this is probably the best place for you. Your middle option will allow you to leave the needle in a down position and have the foot come into a low hover. This low hover is set in your presser foot settings. The default is 2 millimeters. You can also have the foot programmed to come all the way up when the needle is left in the down position. Depending what you're sewing, you may change between these modes at will. We can navigate back once more and program our knot settings for the knot button on our machine. You can either program that cross-shaped knot or multiple small stitches in a row between 2 and 6. To navigate all the way back to your base user settings screen, you can follow your breadcrumbs backwards.